You are wrong about Dimension C-137, and Rick is very disappointed in you. But it's alright, homie, because a lot of people have got it twisted, and we're here to help out. At the top of Season 6, Rick, Morty, and Jerry were all sent back to their home dimensions, after Rick's attempt to reset the portal index instead reset all of the portal travelers. In our breakdown of the episode, right here on the Roundtable, I clarified that while Morty returned to the Cronenberg dimension, Rick returned to C-137, which prompted a flood of comments to all say a variation of,
"You idiot! This isn't C-137! Morty's home is! I thought they made it pretty obvious!"
Well guys, when you put it like that, I guess I'll just have to hand you this clown nose! Cause you taking a fat L, bozo! Y'all, the internet is still holding Pickle Rick and High IQ over our heads. We cannot be caught slipping like this. So fam, I'm gonna set the record straight and make it clear why Rick's home is C-137 and Morty's point of origin has yet to be given a real number. And to stay in the loop with more Rick and Morty content as the season rolls out, including breakdowns that we get up the morning after the episode airs, why not subscribe to the Roundtable with notifications on? Just throwing it out there. But let's get the ball rolling. So let's turn the clock back to Season 1. Classic Rick and Morty adventures. Throughout the 11 episodes of this freshman season, there are 2 episodes where Dimension C-137 specifically is addressed by Rick Sanchez. In Raising Gazorpazorp, Rick makes an offhand reference that he is from C-137, but this doesn't become story relevant until a few episodes down the line with Close Rick Counters of the Rick Kind, where the Council of Ricks identify our Rick as C-137. Now keep in mind, at this point, Morty has no idea that he and Rick hails from a different dimension. Remember, the story he's running with is that our Rick walked out on Beth when she was a child, stumbling back into her life not too long before the start of the series, as a burnout who needs a place to stay. Because of this, if Rick is identified as C-137, Morty is going to make the reasonable assumption that he's from C-137 as well. But that's just it. It's an assumption and nothing more. And when we return to the Citadel in Season 3's The Rick Shake Redemption, Morty once again identifies himself as C-137, but this time, the show makes it a point for us to see the puzzled reactions of the Ricks questioning Morty, because they know that C-137 doesn't have a Morty. We know from Rick's crybaby backstory that after Rick Prime killed his Beth and Diane, he went on a massive Rick killing spree, and to atone, the Council of Ricks were formed. This is when they would have gotten his identification for their database. And this is before Rick showed up to Morty's doorstep. Let me reiterate, Rick did not meet our Morty until after the Citadel of Ricks was formed and the Citadel got his identification as C-137. It's also worth mentioning the Jerry Beret in Season 2's Morty Night Run. When filling out the Jerry Daycare form, Rick writes down that he's from C-137 while filling out Jerry's dimension as not available. At that point, Rick and Morty already hopped to a new dimension in Rick Potion number 9, but this reinforces that Rick doesn't know the identification number of every universe off the top of his head. And it also reinforces that the dimension he's from, again, the dimension that the Citadel has documented in their records, is not the same as the dimension he's in at the start of the series. But the first time the show really conveys this is Season 5's Rickternal Friendship of the Spotless Mort. Rick interacts with a younger memory of himself that at this current point in time is still hunting Ricks, but has yet to settle in what would become the Cronenberg dimension. Thus his grossed out and disappointed reaction when he learns that he'll grow into a Rick that settles down in dimensions where Beth is alive. And that in itself means that this was already a common practice for Ricks to switch dimensions. This is probably another factor into the Citadel's identification system. Ricks are allowed to live in different dimensions, but thanks to the system in place, they cannot escape the truth of where they really come from. So just to make it clear once more, the dimension where our Rick's Beth and Diane died is C-137. Morty is not from C-137. He's from the Cronenberg dimension. Up until Rick Morai Jack and Solarix, he just made the reasonable assumption that he was C-137 because that's what his grandpa was being called. But in actuality, the Cronenberg dimension doesn't have a canonical identification yet. Likely because, going off of the name Rick Prime, this is the Prime dimension. The Mac Daddy of them all, forever tainted and ruined by Rick. So there you have it. I'm sure I'm gonna get comments in this video saying, we already knew this, why did this need a video? But go back to that season 6 premiere breakdown, look at those comments, and tell me this video wasn't warranted. Also, I like money. And as always, I want to know what you guys think. Is the Cronenberg dimension the Prime dimension? Does its number even matter? And am I somehow wrong and Morty is actually from C-137 and I'm just totally watching the show wrong? Me and the people who religiously edit the Rick and Morty wiki. Let us know in the comments down below and keep the conversation going by giving me a follow at AllSharkVox on Twitter and Instagram and the channel at Roundtable Vids. Once again, if you enjoyed this video, please throw it a like and subscribe to the Roundtable and I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace!